seeing it. Like I'm noticing with my interactions with people. I met up with a lot of people during the pandemic, even just like one-on-one coffees or walks and stuff like that. People who are isolated and alone, and I was seeing firsthand how they were doing, and they're not doing well. Like a lot of these people were really struggling, and that was hard to see, but that kind of like pushed me to keep contacting people, or people contact my group, and then I'd say let's meet in person. Let's not just
Mhm.
message over this. If you're in Winnipeg, I'll meet with you. So yeah, I was seeing it firsthand, and that all that stuff was really propelling me forward and pushing me to keep doing what I was doing with my group.
Well, good news from that side, though. The left has some good news for you. So the first phase is to break you. So you're going to do what they say. The second phase was to depress you. So things kind of really suck. But don't worry, they're going to follow that up with pride. So if you don't feel good, maybe you're something else. And no matter what your choices and what your family is doing, you get to ignore them on this one because we're going to make you feel good. And everything you feel bad about is not related to the vax or the parents or your race that we're telling you is so horrible. It's actually because you're somebody else. So why don't you ignore all of that stuff and we will welcome you into this community now and make you feel very full of pride. So are we seeing like step one, break, step two, depress, step three, transition?
Yeah.
Are you seeing something here? Or are we connecting dots that are not really there? Or are we seeing something here?
Well, again, like I saw a lot of this stuff before the pandemic where years ago when I first heard about people wanting to use different pronouns, I was like, well, I don't, these are people with mental health problems. And I realized that there's nothing they can do in terms of like, we haven't done enough studies to find out why this is happening. There's no sort of cure for gender dysmorphia. So I was like, yeah, I'm fine with respecting their pronouns. But even just a few like short years later, I start to notice actually the danger of not just telling the truth and sticking
Right.
to reality. And I changed my view on that, where I was like, no, this is actually really dangerous, and this ideology is dangerous. And I see where it's leading to. And I do see this concerted effort. I've seen this concerted effort to break down the family unit, to separate families, to build distrust in families. The pandemic really did a great job of that as well. And you're right, like these different steps to getting people like make them mentally unwell, make them unhappy, sort of in their bodies or with their mind, make them confused. And leading them down that path only makes them more upset